Today I'm here with the ROG XBOX Ally and the ROG XBOX Ally X. These two devices mark the first time both companies have co-branded a product. So let's see what these are all about. Microsoft invited us to a press briefing to take a look at what the Xbox team have been cooking. And while it's not quite a next-gen Xbox or even the rumored Xbox Portable, what they did show us were real products that will be coming out for the 2025 holiday shopping season. And at least from what I can tell, these can have some serious implications for what can be expected out of Xbox hardware and PC gaming moving forward. So here they are, the ROG XBOX Ally and the ROG XBOX Ally X. Effectively, these are the next generation of ASUS's handheld gaming PCs, but co-branded with Xbox alongside a sort of reimagining of the Windows 11 UX tailored specifically for this form factor. Okay, pause. First, I'd like to disclose right away that this video is going to be a bit tricky to make, because for one reason or another, there's not a lot I can actually show you in the way of footage of me actually playing with these devices.
That makes sense. But from what we've seen so far right now, it looks pretty cool. Like I got the Nintendo Switch 2 and it's not bad. I really like the Nintendo Switch 2. The main thing that I don't like about it is the screen. Like when you turn the brightness all the way up, you can kind of see that you kind of wish that it could go at least 50% brighter. So with the handheld Xbox, it's gonna be really cool. Like I got like all the consoles, so I've been dying for a handheld Xbox for like a long time. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool to actually get hands onto it. They got a couple ones out there on the market if you do want to get one. But yeah, this one's pretty tight though.
It's a shame because a handful of us in the press got a few minutes to try their enhanced UI, and I even got to play some Gears of War Reloaded on a demo unit. And honestly, I gotta say, it worked quite well for being an early prototype. But sadly, filming was basically limited to showing only hardware, not software. Take this as you will. Perhaps Xbox want more time to properly flesh things out before giving the public a full look, or maybe they don't want the competition sniffing out their ideas too early. Whatever the case, I will do my best to illustrate what it was like using these devices in the brief amount of time I had. Now, right at the forefront, what makes these co-branded allies so interesting, at least as far as functionality goes?
Just how it looks right there, to me, that looks very good. It looks comfortable in the hand. I love the design, like and then those LED lights that are right there by the analog joysticks. That's fire, bro. That's fired in the motherfucker. So like, yeah, the carbon fiber little look, that looks really, really nice. And if I were to compare that to the Switch 2, even though I said that I wouldn't really be comparing them, I prefer this look. Me personally, I prefer this look. Beast.
Is that they basically trimmed out a lot of the fat that makes Windows 11 annoying to use on handhelds. For example, the taskbar, gone, as are some of the resources that would normally run on the background for desktop but are not essential on handheld. Rather, this special version of Windows 11 boots straight into a full-screen Xbox interface that puts gaming front and center. In my observations, there were two key components here. First, there's a home screen. If you've used the Xbox app on PC, specifically the compact mode that's more optimized for handhelds, the UI looks quite similar to that. Just as it is on its competitor SteamOS, the Xbox full screen experience has...
Me, I love Xbox Game Pass, and I do use compact mode sometimes, but I prefer the full mode. But the fact that we have that's dope.
They call it, primarily acts as a hub to aggregate and launch titles from your game library, regardless of whether you got them on Game Pass, SteamOS, Battle.net, etc. While I didn't have a crazy amount of time to explore the interface, this is also where you'd be able to launch your marketplace apps, chat programs such as Discord, and also your system settings. The second component to this new version of Windows 11.
So we got access to third-party stores other than the Microsoft store. We got Steam, Epic, everything. It seems like that's dope.
is a brand new Xbox Game Bar overlay, which pulls up a bunch of tabs and menus for easy access settings. This includes things you would normally pull up on the Windows 11 taskbar, such as your sound mixer, notifications, screen brightness, and Wi-Fi. But also, this is where you'll be able to access the newly integrated Armory Crate panel, which, like on the previous gen Ally, gives you toggles for TDP, screen resolution, frame rate, performance monitors, you know, the usual stuff. However, the key difference here compared to the old Armory Crate is implementation. Teams from both ROG and Xbox say that they work together to integrate this deeper at an OS level to make sure that the system reacts faster and more consistently to your changes. And I could totally believe it. While playing Gears, for example, I was changing resolution and frame rate on the fly, and it was happening nearly as fast as it would have on my Steam Deck, which, to say the least, is a huge improvement.
Damn, that shit look bulky though. It do look bulky.
Beyond the software, the next headlining feature with this ROG XBOX Ally has to be its new design. Compared to the previous versions, this next generation incorporates handles into its shape just like a normal controller. While this effectively adds a little bit of chunk to the overall profile, the key improvement is in ergonomics. It simply rests perfectly in my hands. The buttons are also easy to reach. Granted, again, I've only spent a couple of minutes with this thing, but I'm not afraid to say that this new Ally might just be the most comfortable handheld I've ever tried. Or perhaps my brain has just been way too deep in Switch 2 mode the past couple of days. The bar, not that high. Additionally, there are...
The Switch 2 look plain compared to that, the portable Xbox. That Switch 2 look plain compared to that Xbox handheld. I'm not even going to cap on that.
A few nice touches added to the design, marking this new Xbox ROG partnership. Aside from that new Xbox button I mentioned earlier, the front of the Xbox Ally and Ally X have this printed texture with both brand names in small text. It looks pretty nice, kind of similar to what PlayStation does with their products from time to time. Also, while this is not a physical thing, the boot up sequence is also pretty slick. And while the Xbox Ally X is technically the higher end model of the two, I'm a bit partial to the white on the base model Xbox Ally. It just looks a bit sharper. Of course, another important aspect to these devices are the specs, which, surprise, surprise, are...
I don't care what are you talking about. That white one don't look better than that silver one. It just doesn't.
Running on AMD's Ryzen AI Z2 family of chips. For the base model Xbox Ally, it features a Ryzen Z2A SoC with 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of SSD storage, a 60 watt-hour battery, and a 7-inch 1080p 120Hz IPS display, just like the last generation. Now, while we don't have specific details on this processor or pricing just yet, it's said that the performance targets for this model is geared towards 720p gaming. Our best guess, perhaps this will be direct competition to the Steam Deck OLED and Legion Go S with that Z2 Go SoC in that $500 to $600 price category. Then spring more for the premium ROG XBOX Ally X, and you'll be getting all of the bells and whistles. That long-awaited Z2 Extreme SoC, 24 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte SSD, as well as an 80 watt-hour battery. And while it does have the same 7-inch 1080p 120Hz display as on the standard Xbox Ally, performance-wise, this handheld is set to target anywhere between 900p and Full HD. And perhaps the cherry on top here is that this device also gets impulse haptic triggers, just like on the Xbox Elite controller too. Sadly, we also don't have pricing on this as of yet, but considering the current Ally X is available between $799 and $899 here in the US.
That one don't look that bad, but I can understand. Damn, that price tag is crazy. I mean, I can go get one of them right now, but I'm just like, that's not very affordable. That's twice as much as the Nintendo Switch 2. But I understand because the specs are just blowing it out the water.
it's a pretty safe bet that the Xbox Ally X will be priced around that ballpark. It definitely won't come cheap, but neither will any of the Z2 extreme gaming handhelds rolling out over the next few months. While the ROG XBOX Ally is a sign that Microsoft are taking PC handhelds more seriously, one has got to wonder what this actually means for the Xbox brand as a whole. Personally, there are a few takeaways I have with this new co-branding partnership. First, this seems like a direct response to Lenovo's partnership with Valve and the Steam-powered Legion Go S. For quite a while, there were rumors suggesting that a new first-party Xbox handheld was coming on the horizon. But somewhere along the lines, plans changed. When you really think about it, the most successful PC handhelds outside of the Steam Deck are probably the ROG Ally and Legion Go. Makes sense coming from two of the biggest PC manufacturers in the world, but when Valve effectively showed interest in expanding SteamOS beyond its own first-party devices, let alone with one of Microsoft's biggest hardware partners, it's hard to see Xbox's partnership with ROG as anything but a defensive play. I mean, think about it. If you are Microsoft trying to figure out what the next 5 years of your business could look like, the risk of losing the handheld PC market to Valve altogether could have ripple effects, especially if SteamOS expands not just to other brand partners in this space, but also to other form factors such as desktop.
That makes a lot of sense. Microsoft like, nah, we can't have that. So that's why we need competition in the market, right? This is good for us. So now we get the handheld portable Xbox. No more half stepping. Got a full step now. Or get stepped on.
Desktops and laptops. And it certainly doesn't help that, as we've seen with the Legion Go S, the Steam-powered version performs better and outclasses its Windows 11 counterpart in user experience. This, for
Pulled it on they shit.
Xbox, is no laughing matter. Xbox's partnership with ROG also has an added benefit of giving Microsoft a little more time to figure out what to actually do with its first-party handheld. In other words, the Xbox Ally to some degree is a scapegoat to further iron out the Windows 11 experience before the real thing actually comes out and is marketed to a more mainstream audience to compete with the likes of the Switch and even a rumored PlayStation Portable. Also, if you're a ASUS, this partnership has got to be a no-brainer. Sure, wrangling multiple teams from companies is no walk in the park, but for ROG, they can make a more cohesive experience for the Ally alongside Xbox and Windows, and they have combined brand power and marketing power to really get this product in front of customers all over the world.
Facts. Their partnership, great. They'll be able to push, as many portable devices as they can, because ASUS is a pretty strong contender in the PC market. I even got myself an ASUS gaming PC. I don't really use it that much no more. I prefer MSI, but everybody's different. They have their own personal preferences. But yeah, you can't go wrong with them. Top tier.
Okay, but take a step back and look at Xbox as a whole, and you'll start to see why they're throwing darts at the wall to try to make something stick. They've obviously had a challenging time with the Xbox One, but this current generation right now is not doing so hot either, with estimates claiming that the PS5 is outselling the Xbox Series X and S as much as 5-1 in some sales periods. This certainly explains a bit why they're going...
I mean, I understand that. I understand why PlayStations are selling more, because like if you have an Xbox, you kind of don't even need an Xbox anymore to experience the Xbox. If you have a PC, you could get into it like that. So Microsoft really don't need to sell that many consoles. And I mean, I haven't done too much research, but even though they're selling less than Sony, I still think that Microsoft is making probably more than Sony is overall. Like when you add up the Xbox division, everything included with like Game Pass and everything, I'm pretty sure that they're not too far behind Sony, if they're not already in front of them when it comes to the market. But yeah, when it comes to console sales, they're getting obliterated. They're getting obliterated. And if we want to talk about real console sales, like Nintendo's obliterating both of them, if we want to be honest.
With the everything is an Xbox marketing. After all, the thing that's actually working for them the most is the PC. Even though a majority of people might be buying their games on Steam or other marketplaces, just the fact that Windows is synonymous with PC gaming is a key advantage. So the fact that Xbox are recognizing the pressure and are taking serious steps to develop real, tangible improvements to the user experience should hopefully be a win for gamers as a whole. And while I do think it's kind of odd seeing co-branded Xbox ROG hardware, if not for thinking too deep about it, I do think that this partnership is a good thing for PC handhelds, at least for the time being. We'll have to wait and see how everything unfolds, especially as the ROG XBOX Ally releases this holiday season. Regardless, if you're curious, definitely subscribe to the channel. We're gonna get one in for review, and let me know, what do you think about all of this in the comments below? And otherwise, thanks for watching this.
But yeah, thank y'all for tuning into the video, checking it out. We just looked at the new Xbox, the handheld. It looks pretty promising. I can't wait to get my hands on one to actually see how good it is. Switch 2 is really cool. I still play it, but yeah, can't go wrong with the portable Xbox. But yeah, anyways, guys, just want to inform y'all on that, and I'll catch y'all on another one. Peace.